Have you ever seen or felt the presence of something not human? What happened?
When I was 10, my dad passed away in a car accident. My grandmas would always have dreams about him, and she would share them with the family, trying to see if there was any meaning behind it or what she thought about it. I don't have many dreams about my dad, but when they come, they feel so real. They almost never make sense when I try to explain them out loud, but it almost always feels like he's trying to show or tell me something. Out of every dream I've had, there was one that I still can't explain to this day. I had this dream maybe a year after my dad passed. In my dream, my dad was holding hands with this woman, almost showing her off, like a "look what I've got" kind of deal. This is someone I've never met before in my life. I can recall her perfectly though, the color of her hair, her dress, the smile on their face as they stood in front of me, and I can never recall someone's face in a dream who I do not know. It's always contorted, blurry, or I never see their face at all. That's all the dream was, simple and to the point. Naturally, I had to tell my grandma about this dream. As I'm explaining to her what this woman looked like, she just went quiet and listened intently. After I finished telling her about my dream, she pulls out a newspaper clipping, an obituary of a woman. I went stiff with goosebumps because I couldn't believe what was in front of me. It was her, every detail, except without the color, and she wasn't in her white sundress. The day she died, before I was even born, my dad was there. She was crushed by a semi, and my dad went up to her and held her hand while she passed. He didn't even know who she was.
I saw the shadow of a hand crawl along the wall to reach for me. It was really creepy. That's when I decided that it was bedtime and I will never stay awake for 48 hours again. The mind really starts to play tricks on you when staying up too long.
Shit, I start hearing voices after 20 hours.
My boyfriend and I were sleeping in an upstairs bedroom of a friend's house. We'd been staying there for a month or so at the time. Nothing fishy about the house to speak of. I woke up to the sound of someone yelling angrily. Seemed like it was directly in front of my face. I didn't feel any presence or hear anything else. Just a loud, angry male voice yelling, "Get out!" This is what I woke up to. My boyfriend woke up at the same time, in a jolt, the same way I did. I said, "Did you hear that?" And he said, "You heard that?" He searched the house. No one else was there. There didn't seem to be anyone close enough to the house to sound like it was right in our faces. Never figured out what it was. Just figured it was time for us to leave. I slept at my mom's house the next night.
So December 11th, my birthday, we stopped at the cemetery to see if the grave blanket had been placed on my mom's parents' grave. It wasn't there, but I always make it a habit to say hello to my dad's mom, who was cremated and in a small mausoleum. On the way out of the cemetery, I just happened to notice out of the corner of my eye that next to the mausoleum, there was this red fox curled up out in the open, just casually sleeping, not afraid or anything. I've never seen a fox before, especially in a cemetery, next to where my grandma is. I wanted to know the symbolism of seeing a fox, and when I looked it up, it said, lore has it that a fox sighting was thought to be a signal from the spirits of the deceased. Needless to say, I think my grandma was wishing me a happy birthday.
I had a similar experience at a great-uncle's burial where my grandfather is also buried. It was in the fall and it snowed a couple times, but only stayed in shady areas. A butterfly was flying around all of the family and stuck around for about 30 minutes after the burial. Butterflies are supposed to mean transformation or an angel sent by a loved one. Either way, my grandpa was sending a message, or my great-uncle's transformation into heaven was successful.
I woke up to a demonic voice talking directly into my ear. I was laying on my side, asleep, and it was as if someone was leaning over my bed talking to me, jolted me out of an otherwise normal dream. It was speaking clearly, low but not whispering, and kind of urgent, like it was trying to relay some important information, but in some language I couldn't identify. I had a very distinct sense that this was not and had never been human, which is why I call it demonic, because I don't know what the hell else to call it. It continued for several seconds after my eyes opened, long enough for me to register the time, 2:30 a.m. exactly. I was facing my alarm clock, and I didn't feel paralyzed, but I didn't try to move until a few minutes after it stopped. Unsurprisingly, I did not make it back to sleep that night. Probably some form of sleep paralysis, lucid dream, but damn if that didn't give me the willies. It's only happened that once, 5 years ago, and never again. I wish I knew what it was trying to tell me.
On a few occasions, yes, but only one terrified me. After work, I'd sometimes walk to our neighborhood playground to swing and relax. This was usually between 11-12 midnight, so I didn't have to worry about kids running around. A large wooded area sat directly behind the playground. One night, as I was swinging, I felt something watching me from the woods. I tried to dismiss my sudden paranoia, but the feeling only grew. I tried arguing with myself to be rational. It was probably some nocturnal animal, like a deer or owl. The feeling of being watched turned into the feeling of being prey. I felt that whatever was watching me was predatory and curious. I sat still on the swing, listening for anything, but only hearing silence. A jolt went through my body like it was screaming at me, "Danger! Go! Now!" I immediately started walking back to my house. I felt it in my bones that if I ran, it would chase me. I called a friend on my cell in case whatever it was did come after me. As soon as I turned a corner and the woods and playground were out of sight, the feeling of being in danger left. I've never felt anything like it before or since. I'm very much aware it could have been nothing. However, it could have been a wild boar, stray dog, drifter, or something else. Whatever it was, I'll never go back there at night.
When I was 16, I was in hospital, and it was late at night, and my mom was there. And I remember feeling this presence in the room with us, and was terrified to fall asleep. I wouldn't say it was a malicious presence, just it was there, and I didn't understand it, so I was scared. I eventually fell asleep, and my mom headed home. It took an hour to get home from the hospital, and when she gets in, the phone rang to say I'd gone into cardiac arrest and to come back to the hospital.
Did you actually go into CA?
Yeah, my heart actually stopped. A nurse walking past my room thought something was off and checked, realized I wasn't breathing, and set off the alert for the response team as another nurse started CPR. So 2018 was an utterly shit year. Mom died in April, then had a car wreck in May. Now, Mom knew she was dying. Cancer is a bitch. She would always tell us, well, I'll blow a light or mess with something electrical to let you know I'm with you. So since April, I've been hoping for that to happen. It's now June and I'm out looking for a car. I'm out on a test drive and the radio comes on to the AM band all by itself. I had not touched the radio. There are no steering wheel controls. In that moment, I knew she was there and that she liked the car, so I bought it. I miss her every day of my life, but I know that she rides with me and that is comforting.
My late mother bought my car, and we used to go driving together a lot. Since she died, I sometimes see something out of the corner of my eye or one of the mirrors. It's a nice feeling.